Welcome to NewsX. We're live on DSTV channel 421, Go TV channel 125 across all our social media handles. We are Joy News on TV. Coming up within the next 60 minutes of the bulletin, more fire incidents recorded across the country. We'll have a conversation on that this morning on NewsX. Also coming up on NewsX, appointment of Metropolitan, Municipal and District Chief Executive Officers in the offing. Now, we will be asking the question, what exactly should President John Dramani Mahama focus on this morning on NewsX? And Salaga SHS shooting is also in focus as 3 suspects to appear before the court today. We'll touch base with our correspondents on the ground. These plus business updates within the next 60 minutes. My name is Faustina Saf. It's a good time to take a seat and please be my guest. Thanks for choosing us. We are your home of independent, fearless, and credible journalism. Now, Ghana has witnessed a couple of fire incidents over the last 7 days. And this morning on NewsX, we're putting a spotlight on that. We'll take you first to a fire incident that destroyed a 13-bedroom house and properties of inhabitants of Oforikrum Gasoline community in the Ashanti region. Now, the residents say the fire started around midday on Wednesday and later it raged until the intervention of the KNUSC fire station to avert spreading to nearby houses. Now, we have more of this in this report.
No casualty in the latest fire incident in the Ashanti region. Eyewitnesses described how the community quickly mobilized to contain the blaze before professional help arrived.
I'm off with teaching and see a jactor dynamo. A besha, not Gia Dahuna. I feel any area boys, any amount from Fro, Nipa Bibre, Ebe Boy. You two had Mubule Ninian Edu, answer a firefighter service for Ebe Dura.
We had a lot of people helping before the fire service arrived. The fire really brought down all the structures. It nearly extended to the next house. For now, I can say everything in the house is gone. We were fortunate that the kids here had gone to school at the time the fire started. The incident has left victims stranded. Madam Asana, whose sister was affected, said they could not pick a single item from the room. They couldn't pick anything from their rooms. It's painful for a family to lose their fortune in a single day. How are they going to survive? The fire service brought the fire under control within 2 hours and has launched investigation into the cause of the fire. The Ashanti region has already recorded 183 fire cases since the beginning of 2025. Major markets, including Kejitia Market, Asafo Market, and Kwadasu Wood Market, are the most impacted. For Joy News, my name is Clinton Yabua.
Well, back here in Accra, residents of Kisseman are devastated after a fire incident claimed the life of a 4-month-old baby and displaced many. There's more in this report.
relative of the mother who lost her 4-month-old baby to the inferno early this morning.
Easy, my now son, near me penno, and now I see a winty and I bet me. I
It's not easy for us, but it is in God's will for this to happen. Early this morning, a friend of mine called to ask about my whereabouts. She then proceeded to tell me to rush to my sister's residence, saying that my sister's child had been burned in the kiosk. I rushed there, only to find out it was true. The child was burned beyond recognition. We have collected the remains and are preparing for burial.
It's a heartbreaking moment and a wrenching one as such for residents here at the Ayawaso West constituency, where a mother of a 4-month-old baby lost her child. Mahama, a resident, explains to me that he had to run out of his house with a trouser and no slipper as a result of the fire.
I be baba for here. This is my place. Where my everything. Where I get my shop for here. Where my room to the back. Machine everything bent down. Where I think I know how that's anything. Where see at this zero. This one be my uncle dress. So I go take.
Well, more than a month after the Cantonment fire, traders have managed to erect their wooden stalls, but they remain empty due to lack of funds. Sarah Mensah brings you this report.
Lost 1.6 billion. I have 2 warehouses, all is bent.
We haven't received anything. Me, I haven't received any donation.
Minimum 117 base. Nini na shimenya bakumpo. Omajiji eska. Yes, say minimum sister moji 15 million.
This is how they've been managing since the fire engulfed their shops a little over a month ago. According to our earlier reports, the traders began reconstruction just a few days after the fire. Today, we are back at the market to assess how far they have come in rebuilding. So I have with me here some of the traders who have been able to put up the structure. But money to buy the bills is a problem. Madam, it's saying. So, me who say wo structure and where is in fine, but a higher empty. Adentia.
So say a casca, you're the best start business no, because the car you're near man she no skaka cry. If I start a wire hono, and no na day. I
don't have money to start a business. The only money I had is what I used to put down the structure. So I don't have money to buy bills to sell. I spent 1,300 cedis to put this down. Even the roofing sheets, they are asking us to pay for.
I have a shop here. You can go there and see right now. All is bent. Not me alone. All of us here. Our goods are bent, but they said they are coming to donate something for us. We have learned, we have seen that they have come to donate something. We have not received anything. We have not received anything. They collected 10 million from me before they gave me this stake and the ceiling. The rest of the things like you are saying, we have to do it ourselves.
So we are currently here with the chairman of Railway Number 2, Mr. Akoto Boateng. I know that you've received some donation from philanthropists. Cheddar is one of them. Also, Dr. Baumia, former vice president. But your people are still crying that they haven't received any money from you.
No, of course, it's true. Because the money has been not distributed. All the money, we are going to create a, what do you call it, account before sharing it.
Well, let's on some of the fire incidents that have been reported across the country. We're bringing in Alex Kingnat. He's a member of the public relations team of the Ghana National Fire Service. He joins us live from La Paz, where the fire service currently trying to douse some flames that has been reported there. Alex, just give us an update. Where are you currently? What exactly is happening there?
But I'm struggling to hear you.
Can you hear me now? I'm hoping that it's clearer now.
Hello, Faustina, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. I'm hoping you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you now.
Beautiful. So I'm just finding out what exactly happened this morning at La Paz.
Postina.
Can you hear me now? Alex, can you hear me? Okay, whilst we work on the lines, it appears we have interruptions. Alex Ignate, member of the public relations team of the Ghana National Fire Service, this morning we received reports that the fire service is currently battling to douse some flames reported at La Paz New Market, and he's on the grounds right now. He joins us live. Just give us an update as to what exactly is the situation there. Alex, I'm hoping I have better connection to you. Can you hear me now?
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, Alex, can you hear me loud and clear now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Great. So just tell me what exactly is happening from where you are.
Okay, so as it stands right now, we are currently at La Paz New Market area where there was an inferno that gathered about 30 wooden structures used for domestic purposes. As now, we finally extinguished the fire. Our just left right now, going to do replenishing them back to base. The fortunate thing is that
your call has been put on.
Oh dear, I seem to have lost Alex Ignate. We're just giving you updates. We received information that the fire service is currently battling to douse flames at La Paz New Market. We've just heard from Alex Ignate that they've been able to douse the flames and that is under control. We're just trying to reconnect the lines to him so that he can tell us the initial assessment they have done, what actually triggered these flames, and just give us updates on previous investigations they have commenced. Key investigation in focus that we're looking forward to the fire service giving us updates on is that of Kantamanto here in the Greater Accra region. We want to know what exactly triggered the flames. We know that the President, John Dramani Mahama, has since ensured that all the major markets, fire service personnel are deployed there to put an end to market fires. We also want to get an update on that. I'm hoping I have better connection now to Alex Ignate so that he can just make that point for me.
Hi, Faustina, I can hear you.
Beautiful. You were just telling me how you've been able to control the flames at La Paz New Market. What exactly triggered it based on your initial assessments?
Well, a lot of things have been said about what might have started the fire. We are yet to commence the investigation to be able to ascertain the cause. The fire led to one of the service pole from the ECD, high tension, coming down and then putting the lives of people at risk. But we went to have to make sure that there was no casualties recorded. A lot of wooden structures, and even the match is very steep to this firewood. But the event would have got this fire probably the match apart.
Oh dear. Alex, I am still struggling to hear you. You may have to reposition rightly. Away from that, whilst we work on the lines, we know that Alex is trying to provide us with information, but we unfortunately don't have clear connection to him. So whilst we reposition the lines to get Alex Ignate, let's do other stories now. Away from that, 3 suspects, students of the Salaga Senior High School and non-students in the East Gonja municipality of the Savannah region will be appearing before the Salaga Magistrate Court today over Saturday's shooting incident. Now, the suspects who were earlier sent to Salaga Magistrate without a magistrate to hear their case have been given a provisional charge of unlawful possession of firearms and causing harm. Now, among others, that is the charge. Now, you would recall that on Saturday that at a normal school entertainment program, there was an open confrontation between 2 students groups from the Pembe and Salaga towns, and that is actually in focus today. Let's speak to Isaac Nonya. He's our correspondent. He's joining us live from Savannah region. Thank you so much for your time. Give us updates on this case. Well, Isaac, you have to unmute for me to hear you clearly. We just want to get updates on the case that is supposed to be before the court this morning. We know that 3 suspects, students of Salaga Senior High School and a non-student in the East Gonja municipality of the Savannah region, will be appearing before the courts today. It's on the back of the Saturday shooting incident recorded in the area. I just want to give our audience a little bit of updates. Isaac, I'm hoping you can hear me loud and clear and the connection to you is better so that you can just provide us that update. What exactly is the situation on the ground? Isaac, you still have to unmute for me to hear you clearly. I just want you to give me updates on the case in court and also the situation on the ground as we speak.
Yes, the case will be coming on today from the Salaga Magistrate Court. But at the moment, the problem is that the magistrate is traveling all the way from Salaga to, from Bole, in the Bola district to Salaga, about some 70 to 80 kilometers away from the area. And that was one of the reasons he couldn't make it to court yesterday. I will speak, the campus of Salaga Senior High is relatively calm because the students are currently doing their annual sports and the teachers are around. We are told police are monitoring the situation on campus and they have surrounded the premises of the school. Currently to the Salaga town leading to Pembi, the traditional capital of the area, is calm, and we are told that the police are being stationed at some advantage points to make sure that they don't take any situation for granted.
Now, what's the reaction to parents of the individuals involved in this case?
Parents who are close by, those within Salaga and its surrounding, are not taking the matter for granted because those who heard of it on Sunday, the incident happened on Saturday, and those who heard of it on Sunday started moving to Salaga and then going to the school to hear from the students and then the master themselves. So some of them who called their parents far away, we are told, are also calling for an emergency meeting for PTA to meet to deliberate on the situation to avoid future recurrence. This is because the incident was a sole student matter, mostly those staying outside, the day students from Pembi and Salaga. They were the 2 students who crashed in the entertainment center, leading to what happened at the weekends. So the parents are saying that if for anything at all, GES should support the PTA to see how they can bring this situation to normalcy and address it once and for all. Salaga, per se, as a town, is more or less becoming the hub of locally manufactured guns. 2 years ago, a Presby Senior High JSS 2 people, pulled out a gun and gave a 1 shot because the teacher who was teaching the class suspected that the gentleman or the boy was having something with him. And when he stepped and saw the gun, the side gun with the boy, he resisted and gave a fire a 1 shot. Nothing was done about that regarding to discipline and then corporal punishment. And this year, the Salagas incident also happened. We are also told that the security personnel on the ground and at the regional level are mobilizing all efforts trying to raid the town to do away with this unlicensed locally manufactured people, popularly known as machinery in the town.
Thank you so much for providing us that update. Isaac Nonya joined us all the way from the Savannah region. Now we're taking a quick breather here on News X. When we return, we'll talk about the appointment of MMDCs and what exactly President John Dramani Mahama should look forward to. Thanks for staying with us here on Newsdesk. Now, President John Dramani Mahama is yet to appoint Metropolitan, Municipal and District Chief Executive Officers to steer government affairs at the local level. Now, we know that vetting of aspirants has already begun. It has been done already. And the shortlisting of names has been also already sent to the President. But this morning on Newsdesk, we're wondering what exactly should the president look out for in his selections of MMDCs. Well, join me in the studio is Andrew Bidiakon. He's a local governance expert. He's also former MCE for German South. Thank you so much for your time here on Newsdesk. Well, joining me also via Zoom is Hajia Afisat Salia. She's Assistant Secretary, Queen Mothers Association of Upper West Region. They have some concerns about what exactly the president should look out for. And later we'll take you to the Ashanti region. Naya Aljima is on standby. He joins us live just with updates as to what exactly is happening in that region and how the process is going so far. Let's start with Andrew in the studio. As a former MC, I'm sure you're abreast with the process. So far, we know that the list selection has been done, the process has been done, and the list sent to the president. What will happen next?
Thank you very much, my dear. I think I've been following what is happening at the local level because of the interest that some of us have. Currently, I know the political party that is in power, i.e. the NDC, they issue a statement requesting for people who are interested. So what I know is that they pick forms from the party office at the district level or the municipal level, from the party office. They've gone through vetting at the regional level. Some places you identify or you realize that about 40, 50 people pick forms at the local level. But what I know for sure currently is that after the vetting at the regional level, 3 nominees were selected. And the list has been forwarded to the party headquarters in Accra. And the local government minister has put in place a team. I think there are about 7 or so, being chaired by the chairman of the party, Honorable Johnson Asidu Nketia. And they've given them 1 month to make sure they have those who qualify to be the president nominees at the district level. But what happens is that when your name is mentioned, the assembly has about 10 days interval to have all the honorable assembly members of the assembly vote on you to confirm or deny you that position that the president has given you. So that is the process we are in now.
Many have argued that for these roles to be effective, the MMDCs, the DCs, we ought to separate them from partisan lines. Do you agree?
I perfectly agree, my dear. You see, if the president continues to appoint MNDCs, what happens is that the MNDCs are not accountable to the people, but rather to the president. Because the president can appoint you to pay the law. The local, the constitution at Article 243, it is only the president who can nominate or who can appoint you as an MC, but you have to go for confirmation at the district level by the honorable assembly members. But the president can put you there today and tomorrow he can remove you. So definitely you are always accountable to the president, but not the local people. But you are always with the local people. If you are being maltreated as an MC within government circles, you cannot raise it. Party executives at the local level or the regional level can petition the president tomorrow and you are removed. And this makes MNDC's job very difficult. So I am for the election of MNDCs at the local level because when you are elected, you become accountable to the people. They are the people who nominated you or they elected you, and you are always accountable to them.
But let's look at the cost factor and how much it costs us to organize this election.
Democracy is expensive, my dear. Democracy is expensive. If that is what we have chosen to have, definitely the cost. Why is it that when an MP dies today, tomorrow or within the next 3 weeks, the law says we should have by-election at the constituency level to elect a representative, if it is not about 6 months to elect general elections. But assembly member will die or will leave the scene for so many years, and that electoral area will not have a representative. But if the DC is not there today, the president can also nominate somebody. And these are some of the things that I think at the local level is not helping our decentralization. You see, there are people who even came to Ghana to study our decentralization. The Ugandans and other people go there and they are having elections of our own DCs. How much more Ghana? So democracy is expensive. If we want our decentralization to be more effective and the representative of the people will be responsible and will be accountable to the people, the best way to go is the election of women DCs.
Now, many have argued...
When that happens, my dear, all these hula baloos who becomes our MC, I've watched some videos on social media and the mainstream media where people are burning ties, people are chasing people, people are thinking that, oh, these are people that we thought they were going to represent us as MNDCs, but the president didn't consider them, the vetting committee didn't consider them, and a whole lot of... But if the person is elected, definitely all those things will go. And this winner takes all that always when there's change of government, people will be chasing toilets, excuse my language, people will be chasing toll booths. Currently, people are not chasing toll booths because the toll booths are not there. If the toll booths are still there, you will see how people will be chasing toll booths. But when we have election of MNDCs and they are always in place and these toll booths are under your jurisdiction, it is not under central government. Definitely, you will be in charge, and all these winner takes all that people complain. We are always complaining about winner takes all, winner takes all. And the last position at the local level too is being given to the president to do it. And I think it's not fair.
Let's look at the effectiveness of the roles MMDCs play and even DCs in our community. Many have argued that they are failing to live up to expectations. Petty things that an MMDC is supposed to do, a DC is supposed to do, we're all running to the MP for the area.
Because of the structure that we have. That's why I said...
What's wrong with the structure?
Let us have them. You see, per law, the District Assembly's Common Fund is supposed to remit not less than 5% of the national revenue to the assemblies. She will come out, or he will come out with a formula, and the formula will tell you we should take this to this assembly, that and that and that. But because the MNDCs are not, somebody will sit in Accra and he will take decisions about how the District Assembly's Common Fund should be utilized at the local level. Is it fair? So if you put a person who is in charge in that situation, how do you expect the person to perform? Let us give them the free hands. Let us give them what is due them. If the person doesn't have the resources, how do you expect the person to? Because I can tell you for a fact, my sister, some of the assemblies cannot generate 400 Ghana cedis a week. 400 Ghana cedis. How much more fuel can the MC will use to go to various communities to monitor projects?
As an MC, did you face that challenge?
A lot. I faced. And my common fund was not given to me as expected. You sit down at the assembly and at the end of the quarter, because all these monies are supposed to be given to quarterly. The quarter, what you know that revenue that we have generated, if not less than 5% is going to the assemblies, at the end of the day, they give you 200,000. As an MC, you sit at the assembly and they give you 200,000. Looking at the population of more than 150,000 people, everybody is crying for water, everybody is crying for school, everybody is crying for toilet, everybody. Where are you going to get the money? This money cannot even build two-unit classroom block. But go to the communities. People are sitting under trees. And you, as an MC, you would think you should get all these people out of the trees, under the trees that they are sitting, because they are our kids. But the money that you are supposed to, even awarding of contract for water is being done in Accra. Provision of furniture to schools is being done. Come to my community. That is why I have trees, I have lumber. So if you give me that money, I can, if the furniture that they are sending from Accra to my constituency is giving me 1, I can use 4. I can use it to do 4. But somebody sits in Accra and they think they have the power. You are the MC, you can't complain. If you complain, the president can take his position for you the next day. So what do? You sit down and look at it. You look on, and these things are not helping our decentralization. So when the MC is elected, because the MP is also elected, can you do what they are doing to MNDCs to the MPs? As we speak, before we left office, the MPs' 4th quarter MPs Common Fund was paid to them before they left. Go to the assembly if they have received it.
You haven't received your...
Where are you going to receive it from? Per law, they have not breached any law. By what is it that? Because the money should be paid in the ensuing quarter. That is what the law says. Okay. But what is it that the one who is elected, his money has been given to him? Because most of them have lost power and they are living. Some of their projects are outstanding. They need to complete them. MC, you also live in power. You also initiated project. You need to complete them. But yours is not coming. But if I am elected, can the president sit in Accra and control me? I will always be responsible and accountable to my people because they elected me. If I don't do what I'm supposed to do, the next 4 years, they will vote me out. But you have a position where even party executives can put in a petition. President, we don't like this man, remove him. And the next day you are removed. If you sit down and you are working, where are you going to have the mind to work? So the decentralization that we have, all of you, the media, I've been there. I've been a civil servant or a local government service staff, and I know what happens there. And I've been a politician, and I know what... Let us all come together and say, I'm happy that the president is saying, before he leaves office, he's going to have elections for NDC. But where I depart from the NDC is that they want us to have it non-partisan. That one too, maybe we'll get time to discuss.
Why? Why do you want it to be partisan? I want it to be partisan. Lines? Why?
I want it to be partisan for this, how do you call it? The winner takes all that we are talking about. If we have it partisan, CPP can win seats in Ghana. PNC can win seats in Ghana. NDC can win. MPP can win. And when you are campaigning for the next elections as a president or your political party that you want the people to vote for you, let us see your MNDCs that we gave position to. How did they perform? So if the small one that they gave to them, we gave to them, they were unable to perform. Meaning if we give them the presidency, they can't perform. So we are not going to give our presidencies to them. And the advantages are enormous. Look, if we don't want it to have, we don't want it to be partisan, I can tell you for a fact, we are going to have a ballot paper that contains more than 100 people vying to become MNDCs. How are we going to have that elections? Just recently, look at what happens here. NDC, the selection at the district level, some places about 50 people, 60 people, because they did interview at the regional level. That's why they are able to take most of them out. And now they have selected, I would say, the quality ones, and they are coming for interview back in Accra. And definitely they will get but if we say, because the local level, my dear, even the assembly election, the assembly members election that we are saying it is non-partisan, it is a lie.
Let's look at what the law says about the role the DCE plays. We know that the law doesn't recognize an MC. I know that the president currently is already looking at reviewing the constitution, and he has already gone ahead to set up a committee to do that. What review would you propose? First of all, walk me through what the law says currently and what review you propose.
Yeah, if you look at the Article 2431, it is the president who has the mandate to elect or nominate MC for prior approval by the General Assembly. That is the assembly members. Okay. I want that law because the previous government decided that he wanted to give that power to the people. So that law was amended in Parliament. That one, Parliament can amend it. But the Article 55.3, that is an entrenched provision. It must go through referendum. And that is where the non-partisan basis comes in. They give, that clause gives political parties advantage to participate in all public elections, with the exception of assembly elections. And I think that law must go.
Why?
We should allow the political parties to come in. But because whatever you do, there is no way you have elections at the local level that political parties will not come in. There is no way. Even the assembly elections that we always have, the assembly, these political parties go for vetting. They select their people at the electoral area, put them there as the assembly members. Sometimes you just see the colors of these assembly members. It will show you the political party that they are coming from. When you get to the assembly, the only person that is, those who can always tell you the color of every assembly member are the staff of the assembly. They know all the assembly members, the political parties they belong to. So what we are doing is that we are behaving as ostriches. We come out and we say it is non-partisan.
I'll come back to you for your final words. Let me bring in Hajia Hafisa Salia. She is Assistant Secretary of the Queen Mothers Association of the Upper West. Thank you so much for your time here on Newsdesk. Now, we know that your association has been raising concerns about women participation in the selection of MMDCs and DCs. Just make that point for me. What exactly are your concerns?
Thank you very much for the opportunity, please. When the call for vetting to be considered as MMDCs came in, some women from our place also applied, about 8 of them. Then they were called for the interviews for the vetting. But when they shortlisted the names, we realized that they took 3 people each from each district. And no ladies or woman had the name included in that list. And we are wondering what the problem could be. Of all the 8 women that applied to be considered, none of them were considered. And it's an indictment on us as women. We cannot begin to think that in the whole of Upper West region, no lady is qualified to be considered as a DC or a municipal chief executive or a metropolitan chief executive. And that has been a worry. And then we are pleading and on behalf of all the women in the region and calling on the president to have a second look at the vetted list that has been forwarded to him.
What initial explanation did they give when you approached them as to the qualification? Is it the qualification of the women that is a problem?
we are not given any tangible reason as to why the women were disqualified, because we saw them run around when it came to the politics time. They were also everywhere rallying for votes for the party and all that. If it comes to academic qualification to the habit, I cannot really fathom why they were left out. At least we expected that one person could have been considered, because we know that we are always in support of whatever the men do, and when they move forward to for development projects with the regions, we are always with them, and then we give them the moral support and all that. And we can also step forward to also perform those roles. I don't know why they were really left out.
Have you officially petitioned the president with your concerns?
Yes, just yesterday we gave him a copy of our press conference. So we hope that he would look at it and then reconsider the women in the region.
Thank you so much, Hajia Hafisa Salia. She is Assistant Secretary for the Queen Mothers Association of the Upper West Region. Now, let's take you now to the Ashanti region. Love FM's Nana Aljima joins us live with updates on what exactly is happening at the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly. Thank you so much for your time here on NewsDesk. Now, Nana, just walk us through some of the key things that are happening currently. What's the process so far? Nana, you have to unmute for me to hear you clearly.
All right, so in the Ashanti region, about 43 MDA's positions. So all the districts and who have qualified for the second stage of this vetting, which is being done in Accra. Now, when you come to the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly, which remains the biggest among these MMDAs, we have 3.
Oh dear, we seem to be losing connection to Nana Aljima intermittently. I'm hoping that you can position rightly so that you can just give us updates as to the process ongoing currently in the Ashanti region. The selection process, we know in most parts of the country, has been completed. Nana Aljima just joined us live with updates from the Ashanti region, and I'm hoping that your connection is better now so that you can make that point.
Yes, so what I'm saying is that about 145 people have passed the first stage of the vetting process. Now the second stage will be done in the Greater Accra region.
Oh dear, we seem to have lost Nana Aljima there. But let me come back to the studio. I still have Andrew with me. As we wrap up the conversation, really, we've heard from one concerned group in the Upper West region raising concerns about women participation. And this is all boiling down to the vetting process.
Yeah, I think I understand their frustration. During 2018, when we were canvassing for this election of MNDC, some of these things came out. So the proposal was that the political parties should at least give us some 30% women representation at the district level, so that when they go for the election, definitely if MPP, NDC, these are the major political parties, they are giving us 20% or 30% at those areas, definitely a woman will be elected. And all these things will go out. So we will put it in the law that all political parties going forward should give a 30% of women at the local level as MNDCs, where we are going to vote on them. And I think some of these things will go away. But I understand their frustration. You see, when we have the election of NDCs and MPP, NDC, all of them are giving their S representative. Definitely they will have women. Is that not it? Maybe her district. If MPP is giving us a woman candidate, NDC is giving us a woman, definitely the two of them, one will win. And we have the women representation. So all of them should come together. All of them should come to, we should put our heads together and make sure that the way to go is having the MNDC selected. And I think some of these things will go. When we do that, we all come together as one people, as a nation. Because if other countries that came to, my dear, let me tell you something. There was an international program that I attended. When you mention your name, you say you are a representative of the president, local president, then they ask you, why are you the representative of the president, but not your local people? But that is what we have in Ghana. And these people came to learn decentralization from us, and now they are ahead of us. Some of the funding that we are unable to access from the international community, because we are unable to elect our MDCs, you go there and they tell you, no, we want the local people, because these international communities, they cherish their decentralization. And that's the beacon of democracy. That is the way to go. If we want to have all these things taken care of, that president will not have pressure. I can see the reason why they put that Article 55(1) in the Constitution as an entrenched position. You see, during the 1982 Constitution, a lot of people said that we are not taking part. And somebody sat down and realized that the local, now the president will be elected, MPs will be elected, and the local level, if those people are also elected, I cannot control them. So let me put a law there banning people so that I will get the power and elect the people at the local level. Why is it that the top they are elected, the middle they are elected, but the down there you said
Stay with
no.
me, Andrew. I'll come back to you as we look at the Council of State, but I'm told I have better connection now to Nanaya Ujima. Nanaya, just give me the updates you were giving me from the Ashanti region.
So what I was saying is that about 130 people have gone through the first stage of the vetting successfully, and that was done by some party executives in the Ashanti region. Now, these people who have gone through the vetting will go into the second stage, which is being done in Accra. Now, information that I have is that some of the aspirants who passed the first stage have been invited to Accra, and some of them will be vetted today. Specifically, the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly and the vetting for the aspirants for the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly, which is the biggest municipality in the Ashanti region, will be done today. Now, the three people who have qualified to be vetted in the Ashanti for the Ashanti, the KMA role, they include Mr. Ofori-Agyeman, who happens to be the former MC for Boase municipality, and Nana Saribediakon also was the former DC for the Achima Wabieja. And finally, one person, which is Mr. Chiahine, is also part of the people to be vetted today for the role of the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly. Now, this role is very important to the people of Kumasi because of the challenges that is facing Kumasi now. Now, the central Kumasi is faced with filth as one of the major challenges. Congestion in the city is also a major challenge to the people of Kumasi, and they expect that whoever goes through and successfully qualifies to be named the Kumasi mayor, it takes charge and ensure that these challenges are dealt with in the Ashanti region. So the people of Kumasi are expectant of who will be chosen for the role of Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly mayor.
Thank you, Nanaya Ujima, for providing us that update. Now, let's shift our attention to the Council of State. We know that 155 people are scheduled to take part in that process. That will be happening on the 11th of February. And coming up on your screen shortly is just a little details about the entire process and everything you need to know about the selection process and why exactly the election of a Council of State member is important to our democracy. And we know that the Electoral Commission is supposed to supervise that election for us. That is slated to happen on the 11th. But based on Article 89(1) of the 1992 Constitution, it says that the Council of State is to counsel the President in the performance of his functions. And I'll come to Andrews in the studio to see how relevant this role is. Does he really need a counselor when he has advisors already? That's a conversation we'll be having. Now, the membership of the Council of State, this is how the membership is constituted. Now, there are appointments by the President in consultation with Parliament. A former Chief of Justice ought to be part, a former Chief of Defense Staff of the Armed Forces of Ghana, the President of the National House of Chiefs, a representative from each region of Ghana elected by an electoral college comprising of representatives from each of the districts in the region nominated by the district assemblies in the region, and 11 other members appointed by the President. Who can contest That's a question most of you asked on our social media handles, and you can contest. If you're a registered voter, if you're a citizen of Ghana, if you have a sound mind, you can contest. And they went through the process, 155 of them. Andrew, how relevant is the role of the Council of State?
I think our constitution has provided for that. And I quite remember President Kufuor said we should make it a second chamber. And I think I agree with him.
Why a second chamber?
You see, the Council of State, they are supposed to advise the president. Since 1992, I don't know, have you ever heard anything coming from the Council of State that the president wanted to do this, we told him he shouldn't do it, but he did it? Have you heard something like that before? That we advised the president, but he didn't take it. But that's why we advise the president. All the time, what we hear is that the president, in consultation with the Council of State and this and that, they have appointed this and that and that. We don't hear. So what do they do there? If it is a second chamber, we give them powers.
You feel the role currently is irrelevant?
I think the constitutional review, I don't want to go into that because Professor H. Prempe is somebody that I've worked with and I know him very well. Some of these things, he has raised issues and I don't know, maybe they will look at it and see it. But what I'm saying is that the powers that they have, we don't see it. We don't see the powers. But my dear, let me tell you, currently there is an illegality going on with this selection of those who are supposed to vote on the 11th. You see, the other point that you raised, it is in the Constitution. It is clear. Those who are coming from the district as voters are supposed to be assembly members. They are supposed to come from the assembly. So when assembly members meet, if they are 20, they tell you, my dear, you and that, go and represent us. But currently, people sit down and they just submit names without the knowledge of even presiding members. And I know what I'm telling you, what I'm talking about. Without even the knowledge of presiding members. And this is an illegality. Because what is happening at the local, the assemblies are currently not properly constituted. Because the president has already revoked appointment of all the 30%. So which people are meeting and electing people to go and have these elections? Already, there is no DC or MC at the assembly because the MC or the DC is part of the assembly. And let me say, MPs are around, so for them. But the 30% power that we've given to the president to nominate 30% of people to be part of the people who are coming from the electoral areas as assembly members, president has to revoke that appointment. So currently, there is no 30%. So people sit in the comfort of their homes, send names for them to go and vote. If care is not taken and people...
we cannot prove.
Yeah, I'm telling you, you didn't you see,
Andrew.
3 days ago...
We have to go.
3 days ago, didn't you see demonstration in voter region?
You are about
3 days ago, you are news. You cover something from voter region.
I understand. I see how passionate you are about the issues. And it's a conversation that we would still have in subsequent bulletins.
Great.
And I'm sure
Let us make sure our laws work. Let us work with the laws.
I'm sure we'll invite you back into the studio.
No problem. I'm always available.
Andrew Vidiako, he's a local governance expert. Thank you so much for your time. Also a former MCE. And that's how we wrap up the bulletin. For more news, please log on to myjournalline.com. My name is Faustina Safo. And some top stories there you could see on your screens. The minority, not speaker, halted the vetting chaos probe. And this is coming from Bedra. And that's a conversation we'll be exploring further at 12 p.m. when my colleague MFA Deti comes your way with Joe News today. Good morning.